It has been a long time coming, but finally we are back with Alice and Borderland Season 2, Episode 3. We are here for the review. It's been almost 6 months since we reviewed Episode 2, which is a crazy amount of time. They could have filmed Season 3 in that amount of time. It's too long, guys, but I tell you what is not too long, and that is the amount of time remaining in the King of Clubs game. Arisu and his team just have about 7 minutes to save themselves. They're trailing by 500 points. What are they going to do? How are they going to get back into this game? I'll tell you how. We're going to get a flashback with Tata. We see him working in, I guess, some sort of garage. He's working as a trainee mechanic, but it doesn't look like he's enjoying his job, and he basically doesn't set up one of the tools correctly, like one of the jacks to lift up the car. He doesn't,
jackhammer.
Yeah, he doesn't set it properly, and it ends up coming down and crushing the hand of one of his fellow colleagues. He then gets called into the office by the boss, and he is upset to find out that his colleague had to quit. He asks why, and the guy's like, well, his hand's destroyed, so he cannot...
What a stupid question to ask.
So he cannot work it anymore, and we see that with Tata. Then we go to Arisu. He meets with the King of Clubs, and I mean, basically, at this point, it looks like the game is over. He wants to tell Kyuma that he has enjoyed battling him and that he respects him. Kyuma returns the favour and goes, yeah, you've been a great opponent. I've loved playing with you, even though I'd argue he's playing against him rather than playing with him, but whatever. Kyuma then...
Do you not feel like this went on for about 20 minutes too long? I feel like he was just sitting here looking at each other, but this guy's naked.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but whatever. Arisu then realises that Kyuma and his team were once regular players, and he comes to the conclusion that if you survive here, sooner or later they just make you into face card players and that you never get to leave. He wants to know if that is the case, but Kyuma isn't really interested in telling him. He's not willing to spill the beans. Arisu says he's got one last request before the time runs out, before him and his team perish, and he just wants to shake his hand because he respects Kyuma and he's enjoyed the game that they've played together. So Kyuma's like, okay, I guess it's your dying wish. I will grant you it. But they shake hands and we get a big update. Now, Kyuma had by far the most points of any individual player, so we expect it to be 500 plus points to Kyuma's team and Arisu's team losing 500 points. But, spoiler alert, big surprise, shocker of the episode, it's actually Arisu's team who gains the 500 points. Kyuma can't believe it.
We can't believe it.
Kyuma's team can't believe it. I think everyone else in Arisu's team at this point had given up.
Yep, pretty much. They were lying on the floor.
Isagi, well, I mean, Isagi was bleeding out. I mean, Tata, spoiler alert, was bleeding out. Naragi, I don't even know what he's doing. And I think
he's just looking up at the sun.
I think melting even more. And I think Kiana was running around trying to get points, but no one. Essentially, Kyuma's team wasn't even playing. They were just standing at base.
They accepted defeat.
Because they'd got all the points. They knew there was no bonus points available.
Yeah.
They accepted defeat. They'd accepted victory, mate. They knew if they didn't leave base, they couldn't get beat.
I'm talking about his Arisu's team. I'm not talking about the King.
Had they accepted defeat?
They're kind of fucking sitting there.
Hold on, one of them's knocked out. The other one's fucking bleeding to death. Naragi's a weirdo, so who cares what he's doing? And Kiana's running around.
Apart from Arisu and Tata, do your fucking hand, mate. They're the only two that... I mean, he actually amputated his arm for the greater good. What are the other three doing? Not doing anything.
I just said Kiana's running around looking for players to play. Even
is she though?
Well, what else is she doing? Getting exercise?
Do we see proof of this?
Or do you think she's just exercising, doing laps on the container ships?
Probably.
Anyway, we then get another flashback, and Arisu sees Usagi. He's like, don't worry, Usagi, I'm going to save you. This is when she was knocked out with 7 minutes to go. He hears a banging noise. He goes, he finds out it's Tata. Tata continues to slam one of the container shipment doors against his hand, and he's like, time's running out. I need to do something. I need to be useful. Arisu tells him, like, no, stop, what are we doing? And he's like, look, if we team up, if we use both of our wristbands, then we have enough points to, we can still win the game. But he can't do it on his own because I guess he can't generate enough force to break his hand off or crush his hand or break it enough in order to slide off his wrist pad thingy, whatever you can call them. Bangle.
Did you not argue though if these
bracelet? We'll call it bracelet.
If these two just snuck through the containers and then met the king of clubs. They could have ran over, potentially touched him at the same time while holding hands.
That would have been pish.
It would have been pish, but it would have saved him from fucking getting it losing the hand.
Yeah, but then he would have made a run for it, and I think what they done here was better. Much better.
Yeah, but this is like last resort. I feel like they could have at least attempted what I just said.
Yeah, so then it's revealed. Yeah, but have you seen them two coming? He went and engaged.
Wait, did he really? He didn't really see Arisu coming, did he?
I think he did.
Arisu kind of revealed himself. He's like, "Shake my hand,
Aye,
buddy."
from distance. So I mean, I'm sure if he would have held him running up on him.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, point is, we see that Tata was willing to sacrifice his hand in order to get his bracelet off. His hand is pretty bashed up, he's bleeding. Arisu tells him, hang in there, Tata, I'll come back for you. And after the reveal of Kyuma losing, Kyuma, he's like, oh, well played to Arisu. He kind of respects him for getting one over on him, but at the same time, I think he's a little bit disappointed because
he's dead.
He didn't think Arisu would go to those measures, and then Arisu reveals that everything he was saying was true, that he did respect Kyuma, but he had to do what he had to do in order for his team to win. Kyuma reveals that he's disappointed because the teammate that sacrificed himself earlier in the game said that he would kick Kyuma's ass in the afterlife if he died in vain. So yeah, technically, as soon as Kyuma dies here, he's going to go to heaven, if you believe in that stuff, and he's going to get his ass whipped.
He's going to get the smackdown laid to him in the clouds.
Kyuma's team seem a little bit annoyed, but they kind of accept that, look, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got this far. And they say their farewells, and a big lightning bolt comes out the sky and hits Kyuma in the head, kills the rest of his team, and he's like standing on the edge of the pier, and we literally just see him flop into the ocean.
Yeah, it was quite a funny ending to...
Just a naked body just flying into the ocean.
Diving.
Arisu then runs back to Tata. He thanks Tata. Tata saved them all. He tells Tata to hang in there, but unfortunately Tata has lost too much blood. And Tata pretty much just dies here. Lost the blood, he dies. A pretty sad moment. I feel like Arisu was really caught up about this stuff.
It's weird though, because did this tattoo guy feel like a big deal last season? Tata? I feel like we only really knew about him this season, and he dies like 2 and a bit episodes in. But you know what, he went out a hero, he saved them, so I can't complain.
He said he was a loser, he said he was a failure. Well, he wasn't a failure here because he helped the team win, he kept his team alive. They bury him and pay their respects. Naragi tells him that he's a loser, and he hates the fact that he died in order to save him. But he thanks him anyway. What a dick.
I know. I didn't mind this game, but I feel like it didn't really need to go on for 3 episodes. I liked it, but I think 3 episodes is overkill. I actually feel like the next game deserved longer.
Is it really 3 episodes though? I know it did take over 3 episodes, but I mean it literally started right at the end of episode 1. Episode 2 was fully dedicated to it. Then it kind of finishes at halfway episode. I like the fact that they dedicated more time to games. I like to see game. I think it's no surprise that the games that were, in my opinion, the games that were lasted longer tended to be better.
Yeah.
So,
but I just feel like there's other games I would have liked a wee bit more time to. Like the next game. I feel like in the next game, the pacing was a bit off for it. All of a sudden, but here it's like they dedicate so much time. But I get it. This is where all the main characters are compared to one.
Whereas Chibusa is the only main character in this one. Well, he's the only character that we know.
Yeah. But
whereas the other game had 5 main characters.
I know you could say, but the characters make the games, but I feel like in this, I'm more actually intrigued in the games rather than the characters.
Yeah, so speaking of being intrigued...
Kind of like Saw.
We're in a prison. Chibusa's there. He's with a bunch of strangers. And he is playing a Jack of Hearts game in a prison where the players have to correctly guess the playing card suit on the back of their collars to avoid being killed. So basically, you have to guess or have to find out what suit you've got on the back of your collar that is at the back of your neck. You can't use reflections or anything to see it. The only way you can find out is by relying on the people in the prison with you. And then at the end of the time limit, at the end of the round, you have to go into a prison cell. You have to announce the correct club or the correct suit, on your card. If you get it right, you survive, you're into the next round. If you get it wrong, bang, your head is pretty much blown off. Now, the Jack of Hearts is also hiding among the players in this game. and the only way the game ends is by eliminating the Jack of Hearts, or if the Jack of Hearts wins and all the other players die, then the game the game ends that way as well. So you enjoyed this game, I enjoyed this game. Basically, it spans over 2 episodes. Episode 3 is the introduction to the game, and it kind of kills off the minor players in the game, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like...
And it sets up... I think it sets up the finale well, or the finale of the game.
I would say it's almost blatantly obvious, though, that the Heart player would not go in the group. They would need to manipulate someone.
An individual?
Yeah, because they need to rely on, like, loads of people dying. If you go into the group... once the trust is broke, you're fucked.
I'm not sure what I would say. So I thought there was legit 5 or 6 people here that could have been the Jack of Hearts.
No, I agree, but I feel like on second watch... I feel like the only person in the group it could have been was the young woman. I feel like, yeah, outside of that, there was a lot of people...
Well, hold on. First watch, I didn't think anyone in the group was the Jack of Hearts. She's the only one in the group that I thought could be the Jack of Hearts.
That's what I'm saying.
But overall, I felt like there was a lot of people in the game that could have been... I felt like the 2 guys that were teaming up, I felt like they could have been... I felt like the guy and the woman teaming up, I felt like either one of them. I feel like the twist could have been the woman was the Jack of Hearts.
Even Army of Man could have been.
No, I don't think he is he really?
I mean, he could have been.
Or else he wouldn't be participating in all the games, in my opinion.
Your opinion?
Aye.
Wait, so if you're the Heart, you have to be the Heart in every game?
Yeah, those guys replay the games.
Well, is that how it works? I never knew that.
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, they're like the leaders. They get to stay on as long as they keep winning.
Oh, I know, you're right. Aye, that's my bad. For some reason, I thought they were just randomly
assigned. Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
That's what happens when you take 6 months off, guys.
That is what happens. Anyway, like I said, we get pretty much rid of a bunch of the players that don't really matter. So yeah, take it away.
No, I like this game. We see trust getting broke pretty easily. The first guy to go is the guy that's throwing a beat down to the nerd, and then was that really the best way of... Like, let's be real. For this nerd to get rid of this guy without any physical contact is literally just to tell him the wrong thing. So obviously that was going to happen. Also, it did kind of state in the rules that you weren't allowed to, like, use physical force. And he did this, so who knows. So he goes. Then you're stuck with an odd number, so automatically you're going to go down to 18. I believe there was 20 in it, wasn't there?
I think so, but with the group being in play, then that really takes out of it. It doesn't really matter. I don't think the odd number really matters when there's a group. But I think when the guy first tells the man that's getting beat up to tell him the wrong suit, the main woman in the big group then decides that she's going to kill off that guy because he gave the wrong answer. So you get like the dominoes effect because someone gave a wrong answer, everybody's seen him give the wrong answer, then they decided to give him the wrong answer, and then trust was just clearly broke, and we can see that after round 1, everything looked okay, because they all gave the correct answer, but I guess Chiwasa realises that, here, if this continues, we're just going to go round in circles and nothing's going to happen.
And it's exactly why you can't be in a group, because then it's just about double. It's like, then once you get one person's opinion, then you get another person's opinion, and you've got 2 answers, then you're like, fuck, I can't even believe any of them. Yeah. That's why you need to manipulate somebody.
So we keep losing a bunch of players, and then the episode ends with about 7, 8 players remaining.
Yep, you're correct. But then we get the 2 last people in the group. They are last to go, which ain't really a surprise. And then we're left with 6. We're left with the main guy and his guy, but
the only problem is when we get to right at the end of the episode, the guy that Chisawa was teaming up, he basically gives up, and he does not give an answer. So
yeah, I thought this was Chisawa was like, you were too good for this world.
Yeah, so this guy didn't want to play anymore.
Did you argue most of the people in here are too good for this world?
Yeah, so he just basically doesn't give an answer and he dies. So that sucks for him. The woman in the group, the one that was dressed weird, she in the blue dress, she also gets killed.
She was so confident and then just got her head blown off.
Yeah, she skipped in, she sang out her answer basically, then she died.
It's so hard.
And then pretty much everybody in that group died before the end of the episode because like
I didn't like the way she was like dictating it though. I feel like once she jobbed one person at the rest of the group, she was like, "No, fuck you, you robbed them."
But that's essentially what happened.
No, you're right. But
so I don't know what you're on about, because that's the whole group.
Yeah, but it took time. It's not like...
Well, they can't wipe each other out. I mean, not everyone can...
As soon as she said the one person, here, you're a spade, and everyone looks at each other. Spade. They should be like, no, she's lying to you.
Yeah, but they were kind of agreeing. They were kind of agreeing to get rid of that person at the time.
Yeah, but then she was killing innocents.
No, there was always a reason. The first one, she said because he killed that guy.
Getting weaker though.
And then there was one time...
he stole my biscuits at the canteen, let's kill him.
Well, there was enough biscuits to go around, so I don't agree with that. Anyway, guys, that's it. Sets up perfectly.
He kept eating... Chisawa kept eating the same biscuits, so...
Imagine having that selection of
choice. Just all silence, he's going...
A selection of biscuits and he keeps eating the same one.
But definitely, I think one of the favourite games so far. Up there with the one where the guy, the two juggernauts were walking about with the mini Uzis and the horse face. For episode 2 of season 1, I'd say.
Yeah, anyway, that's it, guys. We're going to give this, well, I don't know what you're rating this. I'm going to give it a... You know what, fuck it, I'll give it an 8.
There you go, 2 8s.
2 8s, 8 out of 10, guys. For me, definitely a very strong episode, because I think you get the ending of one game and then the beginning of another. There wasn't really any filler in this episode. It was literally, you went from the conclusion of one game straight into another game. And I know you only seem to like the prison game, but I actually did like...
No, I did like the first game, but I don't like the fact it was dragged out over 3 episodes, to be honest. I liked the game, but I didn't really like the fact that it was a contact sport, but it wasn't a properly, let's get physical about it.
Alright, there you go, guys. That's because it was a team game. It wasn't if it was a spade game, then it would have been physical, would it not?
Yeah, no, but I just prefer... see the one where the guys walking about with the mini Uzi, man? And they're battering them with the fucking fire extinguishers. I don't know where this show is great.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. We've been Fog Entertainment, 8 out of 10. We'll be back soon. I promise I won't leave you hanging 6 months on episode 4. Till next time, though. Peace.